Ryan, let's talk about the road to Syndicate. So we're talking about Battlefield Hardline. After you earn your initial weapons, there are these Syndicate class of weapons. And when you go into Battle Log, you just get some big old mystery marks as to what you have to do to get your Syndicate guns.
Yep, that's right. Either you have to hope that you're going to find out just by chance, or you can go to Reddit and have a look at the requirements.
Let's talk about the class of pistols and SMGs you have to get to actually even get to the point where you can get to unlocking Syndicate weapons, and that's the Assignment 2 weapon system.
Right, so basically, if you're looking to get the Syndicate rifles, along the way you will have to unlock the pistols, and there's 4 of them. There's one for each class.
And those are the Glock 17 for the Operator, the 410 Jury for Mechanic, the Bald Eagle for the Enforcer, and the Mac 10 for Professional. All right, Ryan, what was your favorite unlock for the level 2 assignments?
Well, the Bald Eagle is very easily one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and I think in general the Enforcer class doesn't have the best weapon options, so the Bald Eagle is kind of a breath of fresh air for the class. It's hugely powerful. It has an 8-round mag. It can drop a guy in 2 shots up to 30 meters away, which means you can take down 4 enemies before reloading.
So is that the first one you'd recommend going for?
I would, especially, again, because the Enforcer is kind of a ho-hum class to begin with.
And it's not that hard to get. It's essentially absorbing damage with your shield and some shotgun kills.
Yeah, it's just a handful of shotgun kills and then a certain amount of damage with the shield. It's like 250 points of damage, which you can do in a couple of matches.
And just to remind people, you have to do all of these in order to even unlock the Syndicate assignments.
Correct. Every single one of these Tier 2 assignments for the classes you have to do before you can even begin to do the unlocks for the Syndicate.
So if the Bald Eagle is the easiest one to get, what do you think is the hardest?
The hardest one to acquire is the Mac 10 for the Professional class. It's a machine pistol. It comes with a suppressor. It comes with a stock. So it starts out pretty well kitted. It can empty a magazine in a heartbeat, and it's super fun. As far as is it better than what already exists in the class, I don't know if that's true. I think that the G18, once you tame it with a compensator, is probably the go-to for the Professional class. But for style points, the Mac 10 is just too damn cool to put down.
Now, that thing has a pretty crazy rate of fire. Like, I've noticed it kicks and it has a high rate of fire, so you pretty much can get 1, maybe 2 guys if they're lined up. But other than that, you're reloading.
Pretty much. You're going to spend that magazine on 1 guy if you're lucky to.
What was difficult about that assignment?
The problem with that assignment is that you need 5 camera coins, and by the way, if you're moving on to Syndicate, you're going to need 15 more. The camera coins are 10 kills by teammates of enemies that have been spotted by your camera.
That sounds way out of your control.
It is so far out of your control, it's ridiculous. One kind of simple tip is that you want to put your cameras in places where there is going to be a lot of foot traffic, but not a lot of grenade spam. So maps that are a little bit wider open, like Heist on Everglades or Blood Money on Downtown.
So let's talk about the other 2 weapons that you were not as thrilled about, starting with the Glock 17 unlock for the Operator.
So the G17 is fine. It's basically just a semi-automatic version of the G18, and I just don't think there's anything special about it. Considering that the Operator class has some of the most dominant weapons in the game for the primary, I think it's okay that the secondary is a little weak, but I would personally stick to the CZ75 if I'm a criminal, and probably the P226 as a cop.
And the last assignment 2 weapons, the interesting 410 Jury. Basically, it's a shotgun pistol.
Yeah, it's got a 5-round cylinder. It's a shotgun pistol. It has probably hands down the coolest reload animation in the entire game.
Yeah, he's holding like 3 shells in one hand and he like puts them back in.
And it's also got the coolest rare animation, which we haven't personally captured, but it's out there, you can Google it.
What is it, 1 in 10,000 on an empty?
Something like that. Honestly, I was not at all pleased with the weapon. I think the first time I took it out, I got a bunch of kills, I liked it, but then the more I started using it, it takes on average 3 shots to kill somebody. You only get 5 in the cylinder, so you're taking out 1.5 guys. It's a kind of an okay finisher, but its range is so short that
you're gonna get caught reloading a lot.
Exactly, and it's just, I would stick to the 357 or the 44 depending on what faction I'm fighting.
The one positive thing about the 410 Jury is actually apparently the devs have already taken note and it's going to get a buff in the next patch. So now that you've completed all of the prerequisites for Syndicate, how do you feel in general about this system of, you know, like you have to unlock these weapons to get to those weapons?
I like this system because there's definitely like a sort of skill requirement. It has the assignments, which Battlelog is a complete nightmare to figure out what you're supposed to do to complete assignments. But the assignments themselves are somewhat interesting. They're not as exciting as Titanfall, which kind of got you to like play totally differently when you went for challenges. But it is an interesting way of rewarding you for making that effort.
Final question. Are you saving up $10 million for your masks?
I am not going to save up $10 million for my masks. I will buy stupid silver battle packs before that happens.
All right. Well, thanks, Ryan, for stopping by and giving us your short impressions of Assignment 2 weapons. And as always, for more coverage of Battlefield Hardline, stay tuned to GameSpot.com.